Hi, I'm Butch Lang and I'm with JetHQ, and we're here at the Johnson County Executive Airport in Olathe, Kansas to introduce you to the King Air 350. One of the things that I'd like to say about the King Air 350, it is probably the most capable turboprop ever produced. It's what we might call a square airplane. We got the squared oval cabin, and we have performance that goes to 35,000 feet. It can operate on and off unimproved airports. You can carry full fuel and 1,600 pounds, which very, very few airplanes are capable of doing that. We accomplish this with a turboprop engine, which I'll explain that we have a Pratt & Whitney engine that we operate. It's full weather capability. The King Air 350 is powered by two Pratt & Whitney PT6-60A engines. They are one of the most reliable engines ever built in the world. A turboprop aircraft is a little misunderstood in something. It actually has a turbojet engine where we convert the power to the propeller. A very efficient engine with very low cost operating expenses. Turboprops are a little misunderstood in that it is actually a jet engine that's connected to a propeller, so it is very efficient. The actual PT6 engine on the King Air 350 is what's called the reverse flow engine. The air comes in here at the inlet, goes back, and then comes up to the compressor section of the engine, to the turbine section with the power then going to the prop and the exhaust this way. So that's where we get the reverse flow. The air comes in, goes through the engine, and the gases burn or exit here. Now it's connected to a very large Hartzell four-bladed propeller that provides it very short field capability, but is large enough and gets enough power that it can go to 35,000 feet. Normal operating is somewhere between 28 and 31,000 feet. These two engines drive this airplane at over 300 knots at those altitudes. The operations capability of the King Air 350 is very wide. We can even operate off of unimproved airports, grass strips, gravel strips, because we have dual landing gear, heated brakes on that, so it can take off of soft fields. The airplane is also used in the military. It's used in maritime operations. You can add extra tanks to this that they do in the military. It's all-weather capability. The all-weather capability is achieved through pneumatic de-ice boots on the wings, the ice boots on the horizontal stabilizer. The propellers are heated, the engine inlets are heated, and the windshields are heated. A little added safety feature in heavy precipitation, snow, rain, whatever, is that as the air comes in here, there's a door that opens in this capability that all the snow, ice, rain, or whatever goes down below the wing, never comes up toward the compressor section of the engine. All right, the wing lockers on a King Air 350 are very large, very long, hold 300 pounds each side, so you're 600 pounds, but you can see how deep they are. They're perfect for guns, fishing poles, skis, whatever it might be awkward to put inside the baggage compartment in the airplane. Normally, you would also put what gear that you would need for overnight, such as your plugs and your covers would go in one. Anything that used to be kept on the inside of the airplane when you travel for long times away from your home base, put in the wing lockers. One of the efficiencies of the King Air brand, especially the King Air 350, is the turboprop engine and the low direct operating cost. If you're buying your fuel at $4 a gallon on this airplane, essentially you'll spend $500 an hour for fuel going at 300 knots. Engine reserves for both engines are about $225 an hour, so now we're up to about $700 an hour. And then maintenance is $100 an hour, parts over time would be another $100 an hour. Prop reserves is less than $10 an hour. So essentially we're at about $950 an hour for the direct operating cost on this. So you can call it $1,000 an hour all day. So if you fly 300 hours a year, your direct operating cost is only $300,000. Now, all King Airs have a door similar to this. It's a very large door that comes down very smoothly and is easy to operate. And once it's down, you have full steps to gain entrance to the airplane. To gain entrance to the airplane on this door is just up like this, and you're in. And you have 500 pounds of baggage capability right in this area here, accessible in flight. One of the benefits of the King Air 350, and actually all King Airs, is the cabin. The cabin's considered a square oval. In other words, you got basically a flat floor. The sides come up vertically before they start to make a oval. All right, so that's what we'd call it, the squared oval. The cabin on the King Air 350 normally always has a double club. In other words, I'm at the one club, this is the forward club, there's the aft club, so you have 8 seats in a very comfortable environment. Each seating area has 2 executive writing desks, one each side, that are large, very strong. This one also has USB ports at each seating area, so you can charge, you can watch your movies or charge your phone. As typically equipped King Air, you dim your lights by just rotating the window, which is polarized, and it makes it darker light as you need it to be. Forward at night operations or other operations are closing doors that close off the cockpit and close off the lavatory, which we'll point out, so that you have a very private environment to do work in or ride in or nap, sleep. Your kids play in and won't bother the flight crew. Lots of storage area up front with drawers for all your snacks, beverages, coffee, waters. Lots of drawers, lots of storage, kind of like a boat. Another unique feature of the King Air 350 is the fully enclosed aft lavatory. Now, here's the lavatory, has a regular toilet seat there, flushable toilet, and you have privacy from the rest of the airplane with these doors closed. And plus, it's a very comfortable seat for your 9th passenger if you're riding 2 crew. Nothing gets more comfortable than this. Okay, in this particular King Air 350, they've converted it to the Garmin 1000 NXI avionics system. Did a few things for the airplane. Of course, it modernized the cockpit by a lot, which I'll say a few words about. But when they took the ProLine 4 avionics out and put in the Garmin 1000 NXI, they took out approximately 300 pounds of avionics. So now you can add an extra 300 pounds of fuel, an extra person, 300 pounds more baggage, just by going to the Garmin avionics suite. Now, the Garmin avionics suite is an extremely powerful, extremely fast system. Standard with that is this very large multifunction display and 2 primary flight displays for the pilot and co-pilot. The rest of the cockpit is the same as the rest of the King Airs, with the overhead panel, the center pedestal, pressurization. All the switchology is the same, except for the avionics. On the avionics, you can display charts. You can display taxiways. You can display overlay weather. You can overlay all that you need in navigation, taxiways on both your primary flight display or your multifunction display. It also has the checklist capability, so you can have your checklist. You can see right here, we're showing some traffic somewhere here around the Johnson County Airport. It's showing right there, that little white dot. And when you update your software and the charts and plates and maps, you have 2 cards that come out that you can put in your computer and update, or I think it's called Garmin Pilot. You can do it actually on board the airplane. This really modernizes a 1998 airplane to 2020 avionics standards.